This is episode 40 of our Travel Vietnam series, where we adventure through the highlands and south central coast of this beautiful country by motorbike. Today, we're heading to the second largest province in Vietnam, known for its unique local traditions, like making a special kind of salt with ants, hosting the vibrant festival of ethnic groups, and showcasing breathtaking landscapes shaped by ancient volcanoes. Can you guess which province we're talking about? Yes, it's Gia Lai.
We are only able to make it to the first level, but from the drone shot, you can actually see how high up and long it is up there, right?
Isn't that what you do when you're in love? Whee!
Two focus on the front. I backed up the drone and hit a tree.
Hello.
What kind of coffee do you make here?
Robusta.
Robusta.
Correct. So the entire production process takes place here? We harvest, dry, and grind Robusta coffee here.
Now, before we hit the road, please help support our small channel with a thumbs up on this episode and a subscription so we can continue bringing you quality content like this video. Now, let's go to Gia Lai.
"20 days have passed and we're on our way to hit province number 9, which is the second to last highland province we'll explore in this series. If you want to take on the same adventure, the same route from Ho Chi Minh City, you need to know that we already rode 1,715 kilometers and had so much fun in the last 8 provinces. From the last spot in Bình Định, our journey to all of the next provinces' destinations will be 267 kilometers long, but
To get to the next city, the city of Pleiku, is only going to be 120 kilometers. And the total time it's going to take us to get there is 2 hours and 47 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And that's what the navigation phone tells me.
Yeah, but if you take into account the fact that we might get lost or more rain.
I just asked God for some good weather. So it's not going to rain upon us. Don't worry. I trust this platform.
All right, let's just hope that's correct.
a few minutes earlier,
Well, once we make it down this hill, mountain, whatever you want to call it, we're going to find something to eat too before we actually make the long haul.
yeah, we're starving and it's hard to find a restaurant along the way, so we can't be very picky now.
10,000 for 3. We're taking 6 corn.
It's cooked corn?
Yeah,
Wow. Is that our lunch?
it is a snack.
Okay.
Yup. If we can't get a proper meal, then we have to have lots of snacks because we went to so many places this morning to show you in the last episode, and it's now almost 2 p.m. Marty, though, is never a big fan of corn, hence we need more varieties. This lady found us while we were gassing up the scooter. She was selling bánh ít, this region's delicacy, which we already talked a little bit about in the last episode when seeing one of the tower complexes. However, since it's sweet and not good for lunch, we picked some Vietnamese pork ham rolls instead.
10 pieces of ham here.
Yeah. I think this is our lunch now.
It's known as giò lùa and it often comes as a much bigger roll. But when being a snack, especially a drinking snack, they tend to make it small like these. Try and you'll be amazed at how much you enjoy them cause these rolls offer a savory combination of tender meat and aromatic spices all wrapped in banana leaves. Okay, now back on the road to enjoy the ride.
What? Enjoy the ride. I think in my opinion, this is one of the worst roads we've ever been on. Not just because of the construction. There's not a lot of potholes, but mainly due to the terrible driving. There have been so many cars passing one another on the wrong side of the road around blind corners, and one car almost ran us off the road not that long ago. And there was literally nowhere for us to go. We had no road on one side. On the other side, there was a construction barrier, and then right in front of us, it was a construction machine. But there was one of those excavators in front of us, and there was literally nowhere. And this guy is sitting behind us, beep, beep. And then he tries to come up beside us as we're stopping, and there's nowhere to go. And that's what makes this the worst road we've ever been on. Not to mention, it rained quite a bit for the past 1.5 hours, which was not a big drag anymore as we've been used to it since we started our trip around Vietnam. Everything feels and smells so nice after it was done pouring, which made the landscapes more enjoyable. The problem is, we feel starved again, so we backed up a little bit to get some of these rolls. Don't mistake these for regular sausages, although they look the same. They call these xôi xún, or cartilage stuffed intestine rolls or wraps. We had this one before on our way to Nha Trang City. The only difference is, back then, the seller had it steamed, not grilled like this place. My goodness, I love this dish so much, not just because it's delicious, but it's also homemade with fresh ingredients. Oh yeah, by the way, we'll try to make it at home after our trip around Vietnam is complete. So if you're interested in how to make these, don't worry, because we've got you covered and we'll make a short about this in the future on our channel. Around 4:30 p.m., we are in the city of our destination, Pleiku.
Pleiku.
For a moment there, I thought that when we entered in that bustling little area right next to the school, I thought that was the city and that was it. But apparently there's more to it, and it's so spread out over a vast area, so it's not just concentrated or condensed into one place.
And this one is actually the entrance that leads us to the central part of the city.
After entering the city, we headed to the homestay that we already booked online, and that's how we ended our day today. Just left the hotel, well, the homestay, and we are heading towards our first destination, which is only 6 minutes away. But before we get to the first destination, what do we have to do, David?
We have to fill up our gas tanks.
What about breakfast?
Is it type of gas or fuel?
Okay. Yeah.
You got it now?
Okay, I get it now. I thought you legitimately meant our gas. I was like, we filled that up yesterday.
This morning we got up and the homestay provided us with free coffee. We could make some filter coffee ourselves. So now we don't have to drink any coffee anymore.
And then for breakfast, I don't know what we're gonna have, but we'll see what we can find. It's pretty busy this morning. Well,
Yeah.
It's closer to afternoon now, but it's already really busy. So I think we'll have an easy time finding breakfast.
Gia Lai is a province in Central Highlands, Vietnam with over 1.5 million people. Through generations, it's been home to its indigenous ethnic groups, with the most populated being the Jarai and the Bana. The others include the Serdang, Thai, and Manoom. Being originally part of the Champa Kingdom, this area later was assimilated into Vietnamese territory over a period of time due to the expansion policy of the Nguyen dynasty. Gia Lai officially came into being in 1932 under French colonialism following the reorganization of the Central Highlands. In the First Indochina War, the local ethnicities played a major role in resistance against French colonialism. Many ethnic minority heroes rose to hold honorable places in the national history of Vietnam. For example, Anh Hùng Nup, or Hero Nup of the Bana people, who's known as the first person who dared to use a crossbow to make the French bleed. His real name is Dinh Nup, who never trained formally in military service, yet managed to lead his small village named Stir of the Bana people to successfully defend themselves during 10 different French military campaigns. He and the villagers deployed traps with bamboo spikes and stone pits along handmade crossbows to ambush the French, proving that a modest armament can defeat a powerful army. Most memorably, he stood alone in 1935 to shoot a bolt at a French soldier with his handmade wooden crossbow, and thus inspired his people to believe that the enemy could be fought. Under his leadership, Stir Village became a legendary resistance village and a symbol of the indomitable spirit of the Central Highlands people. If you're interested, you can watch the whole documentary about him with the link in the description below.
There are some weird names here. Ooh, I've never heard any weird name like that in my entire life in Vietnam.
Because it's not Vietnamese.
What a shame, as I didn't know the name like a lot of Vietnamese people out there. But Vo is the name of another Bana hero. Vo joined the revolution in 1939 and was captured 3 times by the French. He was among the first to join the national movement of resistance against French conscription of local men into forced labor and military. The last capture of him happened with the extremely cruel execution that took his life because they couldn't wring any information out of him. Also, they couldn't let him live because he played a pivotal role in secretly educating the locals on how to fight and setting traps with his guerrilla team that led the French troops to several injuries. To pay respect to his heroic spirit and contribution, they named the street after him, Wu.
So I think with population more dense here with the minority group, that's going to make it really interesting going around and seeing what life is like.
If you come here around mid-April, you can join the cultural festival of ethnic groups of Gia Lai Province, featuring many special and exciting activities. An estimated of 1,000 artisans from various ethnic groups across the province participate in this 3-day festival. Each group brings its rich cultural traditions to showcase, making it a wonderful event for cultural enthusiasts with traditional music and customs.
What's your fried rice taste like? Can I have a bite? Oh wow, that's pretty good. Now with our bellies full, we can finally hit the first destination.
A very weird phenomenon that is happening right now is that it's so sunny here, but it's also drizzling at the same time.
It's sun raining.
It's cloud raining.
No, it's sun raining. It's sunny, right? It's sun rain.
Okay, whatever floats your boat.
Alright.
Just like the name of the province, Gia Lai, the name of the provincial city, Pleiku, also originates from the Jarai language, meaning the village of the Jarai. Within the city limits, there are several spots that deserve tourist attention, and our first stop today is Dai Duan Gate Square or Great Unity Square.
Here, revive yourself. Alright, we are at the next destination, which is a park that also has a statue.
Squares in Vietnam play a role of a park, right? So people come here, not only they are able to see all of the monuments, to be reminded of the history, but they're also enjoying and immerse themselves in the vast and beautiful looking landscape of the park, as opposed to regular parks.
You can hear cicadas in the grass here. Make sure to stay on the path, please.
Every single thing on the mural is about the history of Vietnam. It's related to some of the very long time ago history, to the point that Vietnam or the Viet Cong used their weapons to be against the US.
I really like how this mural also depicts some of the minority groups. I think the bottom, like around the bottom of the mural at the base,
Yeah.
I think that's part of the patterns that are also from the minority groups too.
That's for sure.
Yeah. I really enjoy the fact that they're acknowledging and appreciating the minority groups in the area.
Okay, so let's head to see some of the fully metal gongs.
Gongs. Are we allowed to hit them?
Yeah? It's a real drum.
Yeah. You have to hit hard.
In addition to the mural, gongs are displayed in the square to also pay tribute to all the minority groups. While they may seem like ordinary percussion instruments, the cultural space in which these instruments are played and preserved was recognized by UNESCO in 2005 as a masterpiece of oral and intangible heritage of humanity. This is Vietnam's second heritage to receive this title after Hue Royal Court Music. But what makes gong culture so special? Well, this culture has existed for at least 3,500 years, with origins tracing back to Dom Shun civilization, which is widely known for two representative musical instruments. I'm sure you've seen the bronze drum before, most likely in the northern part of Vietnam. The second instrument is the gong, passed down through millennia across 5 highland provinces, which make up the cultural space of gongs recognized by UNESCO. Later in our journey, we'll visit the north and tell you more about the bronze drums. But for now, let's focus on these fascinating items. The Dom Shun civilization is known for its advanced bronze casting techniques and sophisticated culture in Southeast Asia, dating from around 1000 BC to 100 AD. They use their artistic and advanced metallurgical skills to create products like these gongs, which served as primary means of communication between humans, deities, and the spiritual world. The gongs of each family symbolize wealth, power, and safety. A gong is the instrument's general term, but it often distinguishably has a knob, while those without a knob are called cymbals. Gongs come in various sizes, and for thousands of years, they have been present in the daily lives of more than 17 ethnic minority groups in the highlands. These instruments are played during festivals, weddings, funerals, New Year's celebrations, new rice harvest celebrations, and more. Gongs can be struck with a mallet or hit with the hand. Depending on the piece, they can be struck in the center or along the rim to maintain rhythm, tempo, or perform polyphonic music. Gong culture, which features regional identity, spiritual connection, and societal unity, has become a symbol of the Central Highlands in many ways.
Welcome back to the Highlands.
Man, I gotta hold on to the cargo extension.
This is exactly why riding up and down on the mountains or in the mountainous area makes my hands and my arms tired like way too fast.
You also have to like push against the handlebars because otherwise you're gonna like slip forward, man.
Yeah.
Only 2 kilometers away from the city center, there stands a splendid pagoda called Minh Thang. Many tourists come here to take photos of its intricate architecture and enjoy the ambience.
Dog's just chilling right here. Are you the guard dog?
Okay, so we've learned so much about the female Buddha and also the Buddha of happiness with that big smile on his face all the time. He has that big and chubby belly and stuff.
Yeah.
But here is another aspect, another image, and that is the image of 18 different Buddhists who know so much of the path that the Buddha chose. I don't think that they should be like facing each other like this. I think they should be like positioned in a much better way, probably like along an alley or a pathway instead of like facing each other and having no walk path in the middle like this.
The temple's architecture is quite unique, something that you don't often see in Vietnam, as it's largely inspired by Japanese architectural styles. In fact, it almost feels like walking in a forbidden city or a royal palace instead of a pagoda. Most of the structures here are adorned with details and motifs that must require extremely skilled craftsmen to execute. Although this place started construction in 1964, I think they haven't quite finished it yet, as we can still see many statues and items that aren't in their final places.
From the front, I would have never guessed that this was hiding back here. It looks so dark coming in, but then in this garden area, it's extremely bright and lively.
A large area in the front is locked off, probably due to ongoing construction work, so we were only able to walk around at the back. Desperate to get a closer look at what they have, I took out my drone and, of course, paid a big price for this terrible decision. To focus on the front, I backed up the drone and hit a tree. My first critical crash with the drone. You're probably wondering if I was able to retrieve it. Yes, I was, because I needed it to show you the scenic landscapes along our journey, so I had no choice but to climb over a big gate to reach where the drone crashed. Thank God it didn't fall into the water or onto the roof. After about 30 minutes, I found it with a broken wing. You have no idea how hard my heart was pounding as I was basically trespassing on the property.
Somehow it's still like magically working.
Good thing we're lucky.
So we found this mobile phone repair shop and we borrowed one of the screwdrivers. It's very small and it works. Almost lost a total of 700 Canadian dollars right there.
A mini suspension bridge.
After all of the fiasco with the drone, we're now heading to a pine hill called Phan Đình Phùng.
Google is now leading us down a dirt, sandy road.
I picked this spot because it was in the proximity of the city and because it was supposed to exude that romantic vibe the couple seek for a quick getaway. Imagine that you're sick of all of the cement blocks and noisy streets, but looking for a cool and quiet place to catch up and share love stories with your girlfriend or boyfriend. This Pine Hill is that place. Though pine trees aren't that special to you guys coming from the West, they mean cold and romance in the language of Vietnamese teenagers. Not true yet. In the imagination of many Vietnamese people who are in love. I don't know if they also imagine all of the garbage, but it's one of the first things our eyes caught here. Anyways, let us show you how we make the most of this romantic Pine Hill.
Let's play hide and seek, okay? I'll hide, you seek. Bye-bye.
I'll come find you
In 2 years, maybe 5.
in 10. So do you still want to play hide and seek? Because the moment that you go hide, that's also the moment that I go away to seek you.
That's not how that works. I thought we came here for a reason though, and like there's nothing else to do except for hide and seek.
Yeah, couples come here to sit down and talk. We, on the other hand, have been talking for 8 years. What else should we need this place to talk about?
Your love. Isn't that what you do when you're in love? Whee! By the way, you gotta be careful when you're frolicking up here because there's poop. Cringe.
So now we are heading to the next spot. So we're going to Sea Lake.
Let's go see the sea lake. All right, I'm gonna give you the down low, the DL. The amount of garbage that we've seen on the road here is probably one of the most. Right as soon as you go even just a little bit on the outskirts of the city, it is lined with garbage on both sides of the road. I think right now here it's decent because there is some construction or things happening. So it has to be a decently clean area. But if there's any patches of greenery, you're most likely to find litter. And it's not even a small amount either. It's usually like a pile of litter. It also makes the place kind of stinky too. So we quickly pulled over to get some sugarcane juice to rehydrate ourselves a little bit. Man, it was a lot of juice that came out of 3 sugarcane sticks. And she poured the juice in before she put ice in, so that was a lot. It filled two whole cups.
We started this whole trip when the mileage was only 1,200 and something, but now all the way up to 6,000 kilometers. That's a pretty good distance right there.
Oh, that's an amazing distance. Not even pretty good. By the way, I got my little juice holder right here. You can just lean down and go whenever I want.
Our next destination is Sea Lake, also known as Tơ Nung Lake, rated as one of the 5 most breathtaking natural lakes in the country. It's a must-see spot that everyone wants to experience, but without some background, you might not fully appreciate it.
10,000 per ticket?
Yeah. This place is recognized nationally as a tourist spot or maybe historical site by the Ministry of Culture.
Do we get to take one of the electric cars down?
No, since the road is so nice, it's so shady in here. We're just gonna walk. It's only about like 600 meters.
All right, here, give me that and you can make your front pack a backpack. Got my little drink holder here. That's why I love it when drinks here come with little baggies. Now we match. Look at that. This is what happens when you have somebody who's a little lazy. Right? My brain works a little differently. I problem solve differently.
She's using that grass cutter to blow all of the dead branches here on the road.
That's a pretty smart way to do it.
We're taking a peaceful walk along the path that extends into the lake. I don't think they provide any water activities here. So walking, picnicking, and photographing the beautiful landscapes are all that you can do.
Are we even allowed to be down here? I think so. Come on.
From above, you can see the lake's unique shape. It's a freshwater lake formed by 3 connected ancient volcanic craters that became inactive millions of years ago. Now, knowing this adds a layer of interest, especially when you spot the 3 distinct pockets visible in the drone shots, right? The Jarai people who named the province Zalai and the city Pleiku also named this lake Ternung, meaning the sea on the mountain. The name Sea Lake or Biển Hồ is a translated version in English and Vietnamese. But why compare it to the sea? Because when the wind gusts, the lake's waves can grow wild, resembling the sea. Sitting at around 800 meters in elevation, this lake not only provides cool, refreshing air and stunning views, but also serves as a crucial freshwater source for the entire city. The water is so clear and blue, encircled by pine-covered hills. No wonder why they call it the Pearl of Pleiku or the Eye of Pleiku. Oh, and by the way, there's a famous song by songwriter Nguyễn Cường about it, but thanks to copyright, it's now delivered to you by me.
Em đẹp thế Pleiku ơi, trái tim tôi muốn vỡ tan rồi, không dám nhìn vào đôi mắt ấy, đôi mắt Pleiku biển hồ đầy, có dòng xe sang trong đôi mắt em, có hạt thông xanh trong đôi mắt em, có hương rượu cần say men, có ngọn lửa nào đang em trái vơi.
Okay, it's enough. Sorry guys, it's not the best, but that's the song. We have some mini buoys on the water right now, so my best guess is somebody is fishing with their fishing net.
I see what you mean now, because at first I thought they were just like random garbage water bottles. I wouldn't put it past the area, to be honest. But now that you're talking about how they're situated in one spot, that makes more sense with the net. Man, this place feels so serene and peaceful.
It's really steep.
Yeah, because these aren't meant to actually be stairs. Look at this one.
It's a very good spot to visit, actually.
I got a head start and you're already ahead of me. So these ones, they're very special, and you want to know what they're called?
What are they called?
They're called flowers.
Are you serious?
David.
They are flowers?
Yeah, they're flowers. Sometimes I can't tell if you're wait, are you taking me seriously? What is going on? Stop it.
So you wanted me to know the name of them, right? They're called flowers?
Their name is not, David, it's a joke.
How are they flowers?
It's a joke, they're just flowers. I
Because I'm
can't.
teasing you back.
I hate you.
You're not the only person who knows how to play around, bro.
Yeah, but sometimes it takes you forever to catch on, and that seemed almost.
I guess I just got better at using my own weaknesses or disadvantages
To your advantage.
to my own advantage.
It worked. I guess I gotta be more unpredictable.
After the peaceful walk, we're now going around the lake to head to a gigantic green tea field.
Wow, so we're literally just on the other side of the lake.
Yeah.
Corn! A big lump of nuts and the juices.
Hello.
I'm a Jarai.
Are you gathering dried branches?
I'm just walking around to watch my cattle.
Okay, but you're also going to school, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
It's set your ways, because you can become a doctor or maybe a teacher, you know?
It's okay, she's too shy.
It's lovely meeting you.
Bye-bye. There's the bridge.
And this is another part of the lake.
Everything looks super green and lush here. Since this place is in close proximity of the lake, it only took us a few minutes to hit up the main area of the green tea field. But first, we need to go through the scenic road lined with big old pine trees. Do you feel what we're feeling? It's so chill to cruise under these towering trees.
It is beautiful enough that people want to come and take wedding photos.
I think the stunning natural canopy and the perfect alignment of the trees on both sides of this small pathway make it so serene and enjoyable. On this same road, there's a little cafe many touring buses stop by for their people to enjoy the green tea field. Look at how lovely they designed this little coffee shop. After ordering our drinks, we then climbed to the rooftop to have a better view of the vast area filled with rows upon rows of green tea.
Do you know what the tea bushes look like?
No.
Worms. By the way, I was trying to find green tea on the menu, but there wasn't any, so I got you lychee tea. Gonna try the peach and lemongrass tea first. I really like this one. Now I'm gonna taste David's lychee tea. Oh, that one's better. I got David the peach and lemongrass tea, and I got this one.
Apparently, I interpreted the name of this whole place wrong. So it's next to Sea Lake. This whole tea area or garden is named after the name of the lake. So Sea Lake Tea. That's the name of this whole thing.
That makes more sense.
And the area is for sure known of having lots and lots of tea. It must be because of the soil and how rich and fertile it is.
The soil does look pretty rich, I have to admit that. Like, it's a decent dark auburn color.
And look at that. Some have already been collected by hands or maybe by a pair of scissors.
But it's not just the leaves that they collect. I mean, if you've ever had like the bagged green tea, you know how they have some of the sticks too, right? My best guess is that they're using shears and they have like a little thing at the bottom to catch it all. That's just my theory. We have yet to see someone out in the field collecting tea. I would be really interested if someone was collecting tea, but I don't see any as far as the eye can see, so.
The site here and the atmosphere here at this coffee shop next to the garden with full of tea trees is very ideal for teenagers to check in.
But that's because it's an aesthetic place, and at least, you know, kids here, they're doing something good, I guess. Now the next place is a waterfall.
Because the waterfall is gonna close in about 40 minutes and is about 9 kilometers for us to get there. So by the time that we hit up the waterfall,
It's gonna be done for.
it's already closed.
Dang it. So then where are we going?
We're going to that volcanic area.
Okay, I will be more content with that than a waterfall, I think. I want to see a volcano.
It's been inactive for years. So the volcanic area that we're going to is called Chư Đăng Gia, and it is one of the most well-known volcanoes in Vietnam.
That makes me feel even safer. An inactive volcano rather than an active volcano. I really hope that it lives up to my expectations, because like the last few times that we've tried to go to a volcanic cave, we couldn't do it. So I'm definitely looking forward to this. Hello, cows.
Just head on walking towards me.
The cows were like, we're not afraid of you, you should be afraid of us. This area is beautiful. I find it very beautiful because people here are able to grow a lot of coffee bean trees. And I like coffee, but because this area is close to an inactive volcano, but it was active thousands upon thousands of years ago, so that also means that the soil is very rich and perfect for farming.
Riding through this area, I can already tell you that they are living a very authentic life without being affected largely by the modernization of the society, let alone the social media's effect. We see that people still maintain that villagey living style. Their roads and their houses, along with all the surroundings, are pretty well maintained in terms of not having a lot of littering or garbage around.
Well, yeah, they have to in order to keep their crops healthy.
Around 5:30 p.m.
We're here at this spot, and it looks like that hill has that shape of a volcano. So I think Chư Đăng Gia volcano is up there.
Let's be honest, I don't want to walk that.
Really?
I'm being legitimate right now. It's muddy, it's wet, and it's pretty long. We're getting close to sunset and we don't want to tire ourselves out.
Instead, we're gonna send our wounded drone up there to scout around and to show you a closer look at the landscapes. Correction on what we said earlier. Chư Đăng Gia volcano went extinct millions of years ago, not thousands of years ago. Its name translates to wild ginger in the local Jarai language, reflecting the unique flora that thrives here. thanks to the fertile soil, which supports vibrant fields of flowers, particularly sunflowers and cosmos. The crater became a beautiful scene for visitors. Every year, they have a festival about the volcano to highlight the area's natural beauty and the Yarai culture, attracting many tourists and photographers. Its crater now filled with lush greenery of crops, and if you can trek up, the hilltop offers stunning panoramic views of the surrounding highlands, explaining perfectly as to why it's a must-see site in Gia Lai province.
Lava and stuff added more fertility to the soil here, and the people here, especially all of the minority groups, know it, and they've been building the villages around this volcano or this mountaintop.
They're using it to the best of their ability. I'm guessing they don't want to use a lot of electricity due to budgeting, but they also just take the time to sit down together and enjoy a meal before the sun sets. A lot of them are eating outside. And I love the fact that they're sitting there together, and I've heard quite a bit of laughing too as we go through. And there were also all those people that we saw coming in playing volleyball. They're not at home watching TV. They're all gathered around together and just enjoying their time, their sport, whatever it may be. And the children were there, although they were doing something naughty, but they were there too, and they were happy.
I really do like the image of that one family that I saw on my left-hand side. And my best guess is that they were eating their dinner or something, but they were all hunkering down and gathering around in a circle. That is the most beautiful image of a family and what you can do in order for your kids to take part in the culture, take part in the pride, and the living style that you want to pass down onto them.
Exactly.
Talking about dinner, we're now starving after all of the exploring we've done today.
We're parking our scooter here on one side of the road, really on the pavement.
On what would be considered the sidewalk for most people.
And then we're gonna get onto the other side to sit at that restaurant.
Sidewalk restaurant.
We're gonna have some chicken hot pot, and I think it's gonna be cooked with a very special type of leaf.
Do you want the hot pot spicy?
Yes, but not too spicy. You guys have hot wine here, right?
That's right. It's ginseng wine. Would you two like to try it?
Oh no, I just asked because we can't drink alcohol tonight. If you find yourself in the highlands, you must try this delicacy hot pot. Just ask for Lẩu Gà Lá É and they'll bring it right to you.
And they give us one pack of instant noodles to eat with the hot pot.
Just one?
Just one pack. One pack is enough. We have like lots and lots of meat or chicken in here.
True, the last time we really struggled to finish it, so.
Exactly.
Interestingly, this dish originated in Phú Yên province, a place that we already visited before, but is especially popular here in the highlands, like in Đà Lạt, where the weather is cooler. Makes sense, right? Because a hot pot provides that comforting warmth. The main protein is chicken, hence the name Lẩu Gà. But what makes it unique is lá é, a fragrant herb in the basil family. I believe it's called lime basil in English. Look at this photo. The leaf on the right is regular basil, while the one on the left is what you'll need for this hot pot. This aromatic and earthy herb pairs beautifully with the rich, meaty broth, especially when served with mushrooms and fresh vegetables.
Oh, there's the chicken intestines. Those are gonna be yummy. This is my favorite part. Sorry, I'm gonna eat this. We'll share though. Can you help?
Oh, thank you. Amazing.
Very good. When you first mentioned that we were gonna eat hot pot, I wasn't feeling too sure about it. I was like, hot pot, I don't know if I really want to eat that. But now it hits the spot because it's getting cold.
Amazingly, this huge pot is only 149,000 dong, or about $6. It's a perfect meal to end our thrilling day, you know?
We have gotten a decently early start this morning. And what is the first place that we're gonna hit up today?
We're gonna go to the waterfall that we missed yesterday.
Ooh, okay, now I'm excited again. We've got our bounty, now we gotta find coffee.
We only have 3 places today to visit as the last spots in the city of Pleiku before making it to the next province or the next city, Kontum.
You know what I really like though?
Right.
That it's only going to take us 1 hour to get to the next city.
That's right. So we're not gonna get going until probably 2 to 3. It's a beautiful day. The sky is blue and clear. Doesn't have any signs of raining today. But once again, I don't want to talk about it too much because I might jinx it.
Now you know.
You can call our adventure to all of today's spots a wild hunt of waterfalls. Why? You will know in a minute. But the one thing I can tell you right now is that it's just not like any of the previous waterfalls we saw before. Even though their photos on the internet look, I say, otherworldly. Starting with the first one called Ba Ju Ba. Many people call it Tak Ba or Ba Waterfall, and it's 19 kilometers from the city center. I got to tell you, the way there is absolutely worth it as we get to see even more crops than the route we took yesterday. Hundreds of hectares are seething with green tea rows like this. And unlike what we saw yesterday, here people are collecting the tea, making our cruise very enjoyable. Smells so good. I like the hats.
Very colorful,
Yeah.
easy to see.
And of course, coffee crops. Although not ranked as the biggest coffee producing province in Vietnam like Đắk Lắk, watch episode 32 if you haven't. Gia Lai contributes significantly to Vietnam's status as one of the world's leading coffee exporters. With rich volcanic soil and favorable climate, their coffee beans are of high quality, primarily focusing on Robusta coffee, though Arabica is also grown in smaller quantities.
They're in a mix of different stages. Some of the coffee beans are still green, while other parts of it are still red. But seeing that bright red color peeking through all the greenery, it's beautiful.
I hope that Google doesn't fail us this time.
You know, even if it did, we ended up in a nice spot, so I wouldn't complain.
We just made it to a vacant parking lot. For the most part, this whole thing is not in use like how you usually see at a touristy spot. So
Yeah.
maybe they haven't turned this place into a tourist attraction yet.
After the harvest, you bring the coffee beans home to roast, right?
Yes, that's right. Look at that. This is how I'm doing it manually, but when the coffee season comes, I'll roast, grind, and process with my equipment.
Oh, I see.
Oh, how come that girl looks like a foreigner?
She is.
Oh, really? Where is she from?
The USA.
She looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Can I try eating this coffee fruit?
Of course,
Great.
give it a go.
Yes, I will.
Hey babe,
Yeah?
we're gonna try eating the coffee bean still on the tree.
Really?
Yeah.
When does a coffee tree bear fruit like this?
Oh, this time around, we'll harvest them. But at the end of the year, I will prepare the trees by trimming off some branches and cleaning up the ground. After that process is done, watering them is the next thing I gotta do. It actually doesn't take long for the trees to bloom.
If I plant a tree today, from the moment it's so tiny until it bears fruit, how long would that take?
2 to 3 years.
How about after that?
Then you can harvest it once every year.
It never dies?
Only when it gets so old and wilts does it die. I have some trees planted in 1998 and they're still alive.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What happens when it gets old and stops producing fruit?
Oh, when a tree ages and wilts, I'll replace it with a new one like this one right here. I did that more than 2 years ago. This year it's going to be harvested for the first time.
Alright, you plant seeds, right?
No, we can plant seedlings or saplings. The saplings are grown at the nursery. I go there and purchase them. The nursery only takes the seeds from a legit institute or a coffee seed center in Đắk Lắk province.
After sun drying and grinding, what kind of coffee do you make here?
Robusta.
Robusta.
Correct. So the entire production process takes place here. We harvest, dry, and grind Robusta coffee here. And then we, as a small producer, will deliver it to those private firms we collaborate with. They then, 1, take it to their factories where the final ground coffee products are made, or 2, exported to foreign countries like America.
Wow, that sounds awesome. How many hectares do you have here, Auntie?
Oh, it's 1.5.
And you manage it all alone?
No, right now, I'm just temporarily working as I haven't hired anyone yet. But when it peaks, my hires will handle everything.
Oh, so this is just your farm. Where do you actually live?
That's right. This is my little plantation. My husband and I live in the city.
Impressive. 1.5 hectares is quite substantial. It's not small at all. Wow.
Tastes okay.
But you have to spit out the seeds though.
Oh, I already ate them. Too late.
And from her, I just learned that this waterfall has not been exploited to be turned into a tourist spot. But soon enough, some investor is gonna put their money in here and will turn this whole place into a much more well-known place for tourists. Well, that's certainly something, right? A waterfall that is not from a high altitude, but it has its own beauty.
Well, yeah, because like it's surrounded by the crops. That's why all of the plants are able to grow so well here because they have ample water.
And look at how strong the stream is.
It sounds weird, but the strong stream makes the falls unattractive. Look at this footage that we found online. It's pretty good when its course isn't strong, right? And because the cliff isn't steep and tall, all of the rock features are covered by water, making it look just like a strong stream in the area. Tips? Don't come here for the falls. Come here for its surrounding landscapes or coffee harvest season, which typically takes place from November to March.
We are in a rubber tree plantation, and they have the rubber hat up there to prevent the rainwater from going down, because they'll have some cup like this in order to get all of the sap that flows down from all of the cut or gash that they made on the bark.
Hello.
After hitting the first waterfall, we're hitting the road again to head to the second one called the 9-Level Falls. From where we are, it's around 30 kilometers and will take us 1 hour to get there. At least, that's what Google Maps tells us.
Right now, we are stopped trying to figure out what way we could use to get to the 9-level water. Because right now, Google has taken us onto another muddy dirt road. So we're turning around to try and find a better road because I don't think it's worth taking the risk. Yeah, I for sure think this way is better than the dirt road.
Now, let me tell you why we chose this waterfall out of the many others in the province, and it's all because of the photo on this website. It looks like a legit website, so we trusted it, and we were so excited for this waterfall. Turns out that photo was the most well-known waterfall called Ban Dốc in Cao Bang province, not the one here.
I think even if we don't end up at the waterfall, look at this. This is pretty. I'm happy.
My God, are you kidding me?
Lesson learned. Always double check before you end up staring at a puddle, wondering where the magic went.
I don't think, look at that, up ahead.
Anyway, at this point, we had no clue about the truth. So our excitement powered us through all the muddy, bumpy, and treacherous roads. Besides, Google Maps just kept saying we were only 6 minutes away.
How are we 12 minutes away? We were last time just 6.
Being a little nervous because we might get lost and not know how to get back, I stopped twice already, asking a few rare people that we saw for directions. All of them said the road ahead is crazy, and if we still want to reach the falls, they think we should keep going until we see a hill, then ask people there. Yeah, they only think, and that doesn't help with my nervousness and uncertainty.
But not only that, I mean, we're still a mile away. We can either walk, but I don't know if the scooter can make it.
We have never encountered any difficulty trying to find a spot like this before. We got lost for the entire time because of Google, and now we just got to a locals here, and then she said that she's been taking people up to the 9-story or 9-level waterfall, and she's gonna take us there, but we have to pay her a little bit. Without her, we won't be able to make it, and we're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, we would have to turn around.
All right, let's do it.
With only 150,000 dong for our tour guide, our wild waterfall hunt officially begins.
I went down to Nashville, a guitar in the back. I was gonna make it big, make money by the sack. Coming out of Tulsa, a waitress in a bank, a record label man came knocking one day with a paper in his hand, and he said, "Get while the getting is good. There's no reason not to. I really think you should just get while the getting is good. This is now or never. I hope it's understood. So get while the getting is good."
Highly not recommended.
No, this is way too dangerous for anybody who's not really familiar with this road.
It'd be a lot easier if there was only one person on the scooter, right? The weights really made it like a lot harder to go through all of the up and down areas along with puddles.
Oh yeah, like that big one that we slipped in. That one was bad. Is that it?
That ride only took 20 minutes, but let me tell you, it felt like we'd aged a few years, reevaluated our life choices, and probably lost a couple of teeth along the way. Now, there comes a trek to get to the elusive falls.
1, 2, 3. My childhood dream of an adventure coming true, I guess.
It is understood. Let's get while the getting is good. Just get while the getting is
Oh.
We're gonna get muddy again.
Get while the getting is good.
We finally made it to the 9-level waterfall, and this is what it really looks like. For future reference, in Vietnam, it's pretty common to name waterfalls based on the number of distinct levels or dramatic drops the water cascades from. But don't let the name trick you into thinking a higher number always means a better waterfall. This one here is a perfect example. I'm not sure I could even spot all 9 levels, but it's definitely more impressive than the last one we saw. The rocky cliffs aren't especially tall or steep. Instead, they stretch out quite far, which lowers the overall score of the falls. Still, the lush green surroundings in such a remote area really made our time here special. And honestly, the adventure we had getting here is something we'll never forget.
We are only able to make it to the first level, but from the drone shot, you can actually see how high up and long it is up there, right?
I'm surprised though that our tour guide, she was able to climb up all the way over there. I tried my luck at it, but there was no way.
All right, so I think there's an overcast sky right now. If we're lucky, we're gonna be able to make it back to the scooter before it starts to rain again.
Oh, the journey home is also quite memorable as well.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Now, that is the last spot that we got to visit in order to end this most dangerous and full of surprise adventure.
It definitely has been a surprise. I'd say it was worth the trip. Although I wasn't the one manning the scooter, so.
All right, now let's get out of this cloud and let's make it back to the homestay safe and sound.
In the next episode, we're heading to the last island province, Kon Tum, for another amazing adventure. You'll get to see another town that's recently emerged as the new Dalat, with stunning scenery, a cool climate, and delicious local delicacies. If you enjoyed today's journey in Zalai, please consider giving this episode a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel so we can continue bringing you more quality content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.